Okay, we're playing the Stanley Parable. And I set the clock, and apparently that's good. A lot of people don't take that step seriously. They just leave the clock set at 12 and call it a day. That's kind of lame. But you're actually taking the time to set the clock, and I appreciate that. That's how I know that you care about this experience. You're paying attention. How long is this? I don't even have any way of knowing if the times you're setting are correct. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Since you've been so cooperative, next time you boot up the game and see the screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. Go ahead, pick whichever time you want, even if it's not the correct time. You've earned it. Alright, I'll let you get back to the video game now. Cool. Alright. So we can skip that. Alright, we're back. Oh. I'm glad I caught it early. I almost had it muted. Alright, I remember crouch. Oh, okay.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
New content?
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
I don't know, I'm about to find out. Hope the game's loud enough. Ooh. This is fun. Nice little trip. Where are we
Hello,
going?
and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013
I'm gonna turn it up a little. Hopefully it's not.
on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
Okay.
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Those aren't real cabinets.
This sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Me too. What if I just hop back on? I guess I don't have much of a choice here.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
No doubt. Oh,
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
let's do it.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley. All right. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
go, go, go. Jump faster. Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That was good content.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
I can't see where the cord goes. Into a piece of wood? It's kind of weird. What's over here? Apparently nothing. It's a big door. Ooh, another elevator.
Goodness, another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good.
There's more, kitty.
I knew there had to be something else.
No,
Let's
oh,
see it.
no.
I'm ready for whatever it is.
No, leave her alone. Thank you for enjoying the new content. That's it?
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What
That's
do you
all
say,
I've ever
friend?
wanted. This seems different. This seems a little different here. This is the home I know. Take me back. Take me back.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
I mean, I like vents. Let's see. Going down. Did I die? Nope.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Boom. Whoa. Whoa. What's going on? Ooh. Can I go outside?
I call it the memory zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Whoa. I'm going in the memory zone.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the memory zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
I can't jump. I will jump. I will. Our first kiss, my first car, the release of the Stanley Parable in 2013. Okay, what about this guy? The British Academy of Film and Television Arts. The Stanley Parable. This says The Last of Us. Good times. Those are good times. I had those times. They are indeed my memories. What is this? Okay. Smile because it happened. Me first dollar. Ooh, a nominee. Cool. What was it for? Game innovation. Debut game. Story. What is this? I could have put things here. And it's empty. Little Stanley. Aww. There's a piano. I wanna go play. This better not get my shit blocked.
et je n'attends plus que toi, mon amour.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now, a lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
This is a very peaceful room. Guess we'll continue. Portal? Why is there a picture of Portal? The rest are of this game. And then there's just Portal. Oh, Minecraft! Ooh. Oh, let's go down. Oh. For the love of God, please unplug me this. What does that say? Something offline? I can't read that. Boys, come on. Boys! Fire? I don't want a fire. I don't know what I'm looking at. Is this them building the game? It's pretty sweet. What's in here? Your number is 29. Cool bike. Freaking cool.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content.
It was a 9.
All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation. Boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
What did Carolyn say? Carolyn likes to venture off the beaten path in life as well as in games, but unfortunately the narrator in her head isn't nearly as witty as the one in the Stanley Parable. Can I follow Care Bear? The serious room. I want to go in. I don't know where to go.
These were simpler times, Stanley.
Oh,
What I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again.
it's so
Wait.
dark.
Hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
Oh, a drink.
Oh no, oh God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in
Oh,
years. I can't even
Pressurized
imagine what's been
Gas,
collecting
okay.
down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
So they can say Twitter, but they can't say Steam? I don't get it. Ooh. Okay, that's better.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights
beige
that I can't
pages.
even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Can I drive the forklift? Pretty please, pretty please. I want to drive the forklift.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley, I'm not preachy, am I?
No.
You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can.
You're
Oh,
not.
goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Bulldog. I'm the bulldog. Another review.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
It's kind of rude.
A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
I don't want it. What if I don't go? You can't make me.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No, 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 no. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say, the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say, the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably.
Okay.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your Greek gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make... Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their pressurized gas review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on how exactly pressurized gas works. Perhaps that would have been a smart thing to check on before I went on about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is who runs pressurized gas will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review merely because of this very situation. Yes, I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review so that the feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with pressurized gas altering this particular review so that it... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes?
Holy
It's
crap.
not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been... Stanley! Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're... Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't... Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin
say I
with,
have.
there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to...
It's kind of quiet. Whoa. Oh no.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where...
Are you tired, Willie? I'm tired too. I'm falling asleep sitting here. What's going on? Do I just hit the button again? You gonna start talking?
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
A B A B A B A B A B A B A B A B A B A B. Willie, we got a leak. We gotta fix the leak, Willie. I know, it's not good. Whoa! What happened? Can I get up the wall? Ooh, light. I love light. Maybe I use the ladder and I just climb on out. Whoa! We have life. Un segunda, por favor. Look at the trees. What? I'm back? Whoa. What? I can't go on top. I want to be king of the world. This is like Stanley and holes. I'm just out here in the desert. I gotta go find Zero. You see God's thumb anywhere? Whoa. I know this place. Just,
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley went around touching every little thing.
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the trophy? Click
Trophy?
a door 5 times? Is that all you think a trophy is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now, suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
I had to have done 50 by now.
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this trophy to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way in the matter.
I'm gonna do it.
Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
417. Okay. 417.
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
Is that back this way? 437.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
415. 415. 417. New content. Oh, I gotta click the door.
Now, back to door number 437.
Okay, 437. I'm on it, buddy. What about this? 437.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine?
The copy machine.
All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
417.
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
It's gotta be in here, right? How do I...
Yes! This is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
416. Is that out here? I don't want to go too far. 416. Have I seen 416? Hmm. 416.
When Stanley came to
No.
a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
I need to go back. I have clicking to do.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
That's right. I'm in control. Can't tell me what to do. Okay, where is 416? I never came across.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could...
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the trophy? Click a door 5 times? Is that all you think
I
a
really
trophy
have to
is
go
worth? No.
through this again?
I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now, suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
Does it have to be this door?
I have to say, I'm still not feeling
must
the
be this one.
satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
I'm gonna get it.
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this trophy to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way no matter the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
Alright, that I can do. 417 is right here.
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
Don't worry, I know where it is.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
415. Is that around the corner here? Yeah.
Now, back to door number 437.
Back to it.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine. All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere. Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk. Yes, this is great. You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
Okay, now we have a problem because I don't know where that is. Well, I know I don't want to go in there, and this is just new content, newer content, newest content. I don't know. Input received. Whoa. Four, 1, 6. It's gotta be over this way, but like it's not. It's not here.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
413, 2. We're going down. I need 416.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got coming to a staircase. Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I need a way to not be here. Boys, calm down. Where am I going? Oh no. I guess that's it. I gotta end it.